Hello members, it's me, your favorite YouTuber, aka Mr. Christmas Tree. Just kidding guys, that was actually a joke and I just fooled all of you. It's actually me, Fairly. And today, we're diving into the archive and looking at my notebook. It's my Unity notebook, and it has concept art and stuff in it. We're gonna look at a couple pages and look at some concept art, and it's gonna be pretty stinking cool. The first piece of concept art that we have are my notes on Jelly Fields. I have terrible handwriting, so this is gonna look a little bit crazy. But here's some of my main ideas that I had for Jelly Fields. I was thinking it would be cool if when you played, you would unlock and collect trinkets, and there would be like a little trinket board where they would hang on strings and be all sparkly. So it'd be like, whoa, I've got this cool trinket, and then you can be like, oh, look at this, guys, I filled up my whole trinket board with cool trinkets. Does that make sense? This was I originally came up with the idea for the game having trains. Originally, the trains weren't a part of the game, but I thought it'd be cute if you could see all of your jellies being transported around in a train. And that's when the first little bit of train happened for this game. This idea was for level up rewards before I decided for the Lunapon machine. The original idea was that a little present with a balloon attached to it would fall from above the sky. It would pop when you clicked on it, and then it would land, and then you could click it to open it up and get your reward. And when it was flying, it would only fly like in one spot, and it would have like a little caution sign in that spot to show you that it's gonna fall and it's gonna land in that specific spot. And then it was scrapped for the Lunapon machine, where you click it, and every time you click it, then it pops up, and then it pops open. But in the original concept, this is interesting, it would show a right arrow, then a down, then a left, and then an up. So like the arrow would spin around as it opened up. It's a little bit weird. We recently did a video called Cancelled where we were looking at Hingewood Tumble, and here is some of my concepts that I wrote for Hingewood Tumble. These are some of the different characters. The original character would have an attack that was a spike. It would break stuff, and if you hold it, you would keep your spikes out. And also, you can slide around if you have your spikes held out. They also had homing spikes, where you could launch spikes out that would home in on the different pieces of things that you can destroy. What? That was the weirdest way of saying that. And their special was it increases your movement speed, and spikes will stay out while you're moving, and that builds your combo meter, which I had an idea that there would be like a combo meter. Of course, it's me, so I have to have a jelly in my game. So this is the jelly. Its attack would be a charge, where it rushes forward and causes a large area of damage when it hits something, but you can also cancel the charge by pressing a button. So basically you'd press it and it would just run in a straight line forward with its horns facing out until it hit something or you canceled it. The next one is called Splat. It would be an AoE that would make everything around you get covered in slime, and whenever you attacked it or jumped on those things, you would bounce off of them. And the more you would bounce around things, you would build your combo higher and higher as you did that. And their special was you would just do a large magic burst around you, which would build your combo, and also you would build extra combo if the burst happened and you hit things that were already covered in slime. So the jelly was very heavily combo based. Here's also some stuff about the metals in the game. This was like the generator and how much health it had, and the generator can be launched around and it would explode when it hits other things, but it will bounce off of things. There was just the normal block. The canister block is like the normal block, but it has canisters inside it. There was a bomb that you could hit, and it can be launched to build up combos. If it hits other things, it would make a big explosion. I think I had discussed, okay, Clover's meowing, but I had also discussed that there was silver blocks that you couldn't destroy. Once something was silvered, it was like off limits. You've completely ruined the ability to get points from that. But this one was a silver blinking block where it would blink in between silver and normal, so you'd have to time when you hit it. And then this was the silver pillar, which it had a timer on top of it. When it was activated, you would have to destroy it before that timer ran out, or it would turn to silver and you couldn't break it anymore. And these would often be placed in front of secret areas, so you'd have to destroy it before you can get into the secret area, or you would miss out on all that treasure inside there. And then a key block, which would require you to collect all of the different keys around the level, and then once you collect the keys, then you'd be able to break it, but if you wait too long, it would become silver. And then here's another character that I named Shoot Guy Bubble. It would have a little bubble gun, and you could shoot it, and you could also jump in the air and shoot below you. And when you shoot junk, you would trap it in a bubble, and you can bounce off of the bubbles and create combos off of it. They have their bubble shot ability, which would shoot like a big bubble that would trap all of the junk that you hit and then combine it in one little area. And they could also use their ultimate bubble pop, which would pop all of the bubbles that you've placed in the map, and it would build like a huge combo depending on how many bubbles you had. And then here's a combo guy that could jump up in the air and slam down, do combos, and their passive ability was that every time you had a 3-hit combo or higher, your speed would increase. Here's something interesting. When I was working on Jelly World, I had the Jelly World 2.0 idea, where I wanted to turn the game into more of a skilling game where you're leveling up your skills as opposed to like a Stardew type farming game. And I came up with the idea of all these different essences which would link to different things. So Curiosity Essence would be linked with jellies, foraging, and fishing. Root would be woodcutting and farming. Soil would be digging and bug catching. Stone would be mining. Lunal would be night farming, night jellies, and the dark depths of the ruins. Sonal will be day farming, day jellies, and tall tops, which is an area in the game that would be really close up to the sun, so it's a lot warmer there. Creation essence would be crafting, breeding, and cooking, and then it's called unworldly here, but I changed it to otherworldly. That would be the ruins and anything that is not of this world. There was a whole like alien thing that I had going on, but this is the idea. I kind of want to do this sort of thing in the new Jelly World, but I'm not sure I want to do it the way that I had it here. I think the names of these would kind of stay, but it would be like individual skills. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but if you guys think this is cool, you can let me know. I feel like people don't realize that I do write so much stuff for everything that I make, and I put this much thought behind it, because when I actually end up making the videos and stuff, it just seems like I'm just like all over the place and crazy. But I have thought about a lot of this stuff a lot, but then I just end up never doing it, which is my problem that I'm trying to fix now. Okay, the last thing we're gonna look at is these are some notes and ideas that I had for Jelly Fields, and this one was the idea for the sell box, which is really interesting. It was like, yes, if you drop an item in here, you will sell it. And you can see it says I have 999 coins. Originally, it was going to tell you how many coins you had actually on the sell box. This was the idea for the shop with the actual items inside of it. And then this was the crafting machine, because originally there's going to be crafting in the game. And so you would drop an item into the top here, and then it would show the item floating around. You drop another item in, and it'll be floating around. And then you would click the craft button, and if it was a successful craft, it would shoot out the side here as the crafted thing, and if it was unsuccessful, this little X would light up, and then it would just spit the 2 pieces back out. Then I condensed it down into this version, where if you put the 2 things in, it would just automatically craft it, but if not, you could just, if you put 1 item in and you didn't want it, you could just press the button and it would just spit that item out. And then I turned it into just drop things in, and then it just does a thing. Like you drop it in the top, and then it just spits it back out the top. But I haven't done crafting. I do want to do crafting, but I think I would simplify it. I think I would just have it be, you just drag the items on top of each other, and then that's it. And I also had the idea for a tool table, but there's a question mark there, because I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, where you would have like your tools and you upgrade them, and to cut down a tree, you'd have to grab the axe, drag it over to the tree, and then it would cut down the tree. But obviously, now you just hover over the thing, and then it tells you how much money it takes to cut it down. Here, I was thinking, oh, you just have the normal click, and then every time you scroll, it changes to a different tool. I didn't like that, though. That was a bit of a stupid idea. Now, it's really simple. There's just one little cursor, and it does everything. I don't need to do all this complicated random stuff for no reason. But okay, that was me looking into this really, really dusty book which also the cats have bit several times. If you want me to look into this book again, I have a couple of other books that I also have concept art and other things written down into as well. But you'll have to let me know if you want me to do a segment like this again. But thank you all for hanging out with me on Fairly Friday. Next week, I don't know what I'm doing next week. I haven't planned that. I typically plan every 2 weeks. So next week, I'll be able to tell you what will happen next week. But then the week after that, I won't be able to tell you. That makes absolutely no sense. Thank you so much for being a member. I'll see you guys next Friday. Goodbye.